Hello, this is Vance, and this is Tuesday, January 24th, 2017. These are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. Overnight high was 53.30, got to an overnight low of 52.57, and what really geared me toward looking at going long, not all day, but initially with this trade here, was the fact that out of these bars are roughly 17 bars down to this area, 57 ticks from this peak here, from the high to down to this area right here. And over that period of time, let me just try to draw that in. In that period of time, it took about an hour, just over an hour and 20 minutes, I think, from price to go from here down to here. Okay, it was 57 ticks, and it was, it sold off to this area. Now from here, from this area to this area right here, this bar right here, this area here was 17 ticks. And that took an hour and about the same period of time, actually a little longer, I think about an hour and 23 minutes. And this is just before 8 o'clock. And from the bottom to the top here was 13 ticks. So think about those numbers. 13 ticks from here to here and an hour. Okay? This area to this area right here was 57 ticks. So same time, and this took same time, and this was only the magnitude was less than a quarter of what this was. Okay, now why is that important? Well, it's important because these are 800 tick, the 800 tick bars, and for every buyer there's a seller. So let's ignore the volume for a moment. They could be more than one contract per tick. Could be 10 contracts, but likely not. It's probably, let's call it 1-to-1. So let's say 800 transactions on each bar. That means that all things being equal, these 800 transactions on these bars for this 16 bars, 17 bars, moves 57 ticks. These 800 transactions times 17 bars only move 13 ticks, which means that buyers and sellers are in equilibrium here. Okay, something's going to break. Now, who's going to give it up? If price can break higher here, and we've got sellers here with safety stops all the way down here, if we have buyers even by 1 cent higher, and they're all basically clear, and price is going to move up, and that's in fact what happened. So when I see this bar, when I see an area like this, that we have overlap and we have target, this is the previous double top. I mean, this is the previous double top, of course, as well. But this is where this move started. I'm thinking that we would have a bit of a retracement, and so as a result, that's why this is the first long trade, and that's why I'm thinking long. Okay, on this bar. Price opens right here. Now, range compression is like a spike in channel. It channels right in here. This is, you can see these bars. This is another hour this is taking. Price right at the open busts down a bit, comes back up, comes back down. And so when it comes back to this area, it forms a double, triple bottom. And it's really a pull. The price makes a new low, pulls back. And this is really like two pullbacks down to support. So this is a second entry long. But you'd have to get in order to get this, to get your target, be the best place to be, because this is your 15 tick target, is to be below this area. But you have to really limit in, because if you wait till the bar closes, you are up here, it's above that, and on top of that, you can see that unless you got in limited in, it met resistance at this previous high, except for this kind of this overshoot here at the open, or just after the open. So price comes back, another pullback, and another strong bar here to get in on. And if you got on this one, then it blew past this area. But again, you'd have to limit in because you want your stops below these areas of lower support, and so that you're looking at the fact that it's going to go a little higher, because it's a strong bar. Now, in this case, I would have to say that I didn't really like this trade as much. I didn't consider that as much, unless you're really limited in low, and you'd have to limit in like right here. You'd have to limit in right at 5208, somewhere in that neighborhood, or 5308. I mean, yeah, 5308. So you have to limit in right here, and you have to put a limit order down there. Your stop is in an okay place, and so what do you call this? If you were to limit in here, like guessing that it's not going to keep going further, that's pretty much it. It really isn't a second entry because there's no real, this is a strong bear bar here, and then it immediately turns around in the other direction. So it looks like a trap, but you don't know that until this bar completes. And you can say, okay, that is a trap. So here it pulls back again. You could probably limit in here, like that would have given you enough room. Maybe, yeah. See, you still had to be pretty low to limit in to kind of get that limit in at 5310, and your stop would be at 05 or 95. So that would be the trade right there, because it gives you below this double tops. But again, remember, thus far it's been a pretty tight range except for the overshoot. It's been about 10 ticks. But as you can see, it did work out. Didn't go that far. It was a measured move. If you say this is the area, pulls back. So there was enough room from a measured move perspective to get up there. Price stacks up. Going short here I wasn't really looking short. And the reason I wasn't looking short, look at all this overlap. These bars are overlapping like crazy. And it's a 10-tick range. And it looks like rejection here to me. It looks like price is trying to go higher. It does come back a little bit. It comes back a little bit. You look at these bars. By the time you get a real clean entry, it's right here. This is probably the best bar in the whole bunch. But again, like, where's your stop going to be? If you're going to limit in here, your target's got to be below where the strong support was. And where's your stop? Your stop is just above here, so that's all right. But your target's got to be down here, and you see it never got down there. And because it didn't get down there, this was a trade of the day. Price gets down here, pulls back, attempts to go down further, and then doesn't make it. Now, I like this trade. You can limit in. Your stop is below here, or very close to these bottoms right here. Your target is below this area but it took a while to work out. As if you got in here, see the pullback. If you limit it in, price pulls back, moves up here. You get your first targets off, and then it kind of moves back, pulls up to this area, doesn't quite get your second target up, then it goes sideways again, and then moves its way up. And so this was the trade that you could get in on. I don't think it was absolutely clear, I would say, but if you're looking at the fact that if you think there's going to be another move up, and if you say that this is not necessarily a measured move, but if price is going to be going up, it'll be heading up here. It kind of ran out of gas later on in the day and kind of turned back down. So, but that's pretty much it. There's if you get in on these trades, because now if you're on this trade, or you're on this one, or you try to get in here, this is 9 o'clock. By the time it really completes, this is noon, and that's it for me. Like by noon, I'm pretty much 3 hours later. That's pretty much all. Anything beyond that, if I'm in a trade, maybe, but no. By 12 o'clock, I'm pretty much done. And when lunchtime rolls around, from 8 o'clock to noon, 4 hours. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I need to put in on screen time in. If I'm happy, if I got something else to do, if I can kind of hang around a little bit longer, but I don't like to do that. I'd rather shut her down, get a couple of trades in, and then go from there afterwards. Okay, so that's it as far as the trades are concerned. If you have any questions, please let me know. Email slowhandmethod@gmail.com. Mindful trading is coming along. Packages are out. Some of you have already received them. So give me, just get them back in as quickly as possible. And don't worry about it. If you haven't got your package, there's another batch going out. So if you haven't received it as of yet, there's no real hurry from that perspective. It's not that long. It's only a couple of sheets. So it shouldn't take you long to fill it out and send it back in. Anyway, if you're still interested in mindful trading and that program that I have, send me an email at slowhandmethod at gmail.com, and I will send you out a package as well later on. And then it's not going to start until, won't be starting till for another week and a week or so, 10 days. So got to do some scheduling stuff and do that kind of thing. But once you are, if you're accepted, and I've got way more applicants than I have like spots. So, I'm trying to choose those individuals I think would be most beneficial for. I mean, it's kind of hard to say about who they are. I don't know. I'm just reading over the stuff now as it comes in. That's what I did in the past when I've done something like this. So anyway, this is Vance. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Again, bye for now.